Today we are going to discuss classical theory of organization, Henry Fayol and Luther Gulick. The classical theory of organization is also called administrative theory. It came to be developed in the early part of the 20th century. Henry Fayol, a French manager and industrialist, put forward the basic premises of the organization theory in his book Journal and Industrial Management, published in 1916. The general issues of administrative organization were first of all subjected to systematic theory by Henry Fayol. Later on, this theory was developed by Luther Gulick and Urwick, and the formulated a set of universally recognized principle of organization. So this formulation are collectively called that the classical theory of organization. The systematic study and analysis of organization can be traced to the later part of 19th and 20th centuries. Taylor, Henry Fayol, Max Weber, Monet, Rayleigh, Gulick and Urwick, among the many who attempt the scientific study of organization based on his experiments. Taylor formulated his universal principle of scientific management to improve productivity and efficiency in organization. Importance and structure of this theory. Gulick and Urwick formulated universal principle of organization. These formulations are popularly called classical theory of organization. They are also called administrative management theory of machines. The classical theory is called because it is one of the earliest formulation based on the systematic analysis of organization. It is dominant in the field of administrative theory, and finally because it is a long established and generally accepted in administrative literature. So we discuss the according to Luther Gulick post-curve theory. Firstly, Luther Gulick discussed with post-curve theory in narrow viewpoints. Planning means working out in a broad outline the thing to be done, the method to be adopted for accomplishing a purpose. Secondly, organization means establishment of a formal structure of authority, though which work is a subdivided. Staffing means appointing a suitable person to various posts, their training and works. Directing, it means decision and issuing orders and guiding the enterprises. Next is coordination. It means integrating the work of various divisions, sections, and other parts of the organization. Reporting, it means informing the agency to whom the executive is responsible of what is going on. Lastly, budgeting, it means all that goes in the form fiscal planning, accounting, and financial control. So, main principle of classical theory will be identified eight main principle of classical theory. So, we discuss few theories. First is principle of objectives, that all organization should be an expression of a purpose. Secondly, principle of correspondence. This theory is main focusing in the responsibility. Third principle is responsibility, and it is a very higher authorities for the work of subordinate is absolute. Scalar principle. that a paramedical type of work structure is built up in the every organization. Principle of span of control that each administration officer is exercise control over defined number of subordinate. So other is the principle of specialization, principle of coordination, and principle of all the works how can do in better way. So principle of Luther-Gulick's. Luther-Gulick's divide the main principle. First is work division. The classical over administrative theories hold the principle of work division as the central point of the theory. Work division is necessary because men differs in nature, capacity, and skill. In the world, according to Luther Gulick, work division is foundation of organization like department, cooperation, and regulatory commissions. Luther Gulick states that there are a main basic four principles of the organization. First is the purpose of the organization serves. Second, the process its use. Thirdly, the person or things it details with the work. Fourth, the place for which it works. Second principle discuss, we are going to coordination. Coordination is an essential feature of organization. It refers to integration of various parts of the work division. Only a well-coordinated organization can be expected to deliver the desired goods over services in an effective and efficient manner. So further again discuss with Luther Gulick. He divided in two ways. First way is coordination achieved by orders from the top to bottom. Secondly, coordination achieved through the dominance of an idea. Third principle, unity of command. Unity of command is another valid, time-tested and uniformly accepted principle of administration. Each organization should have a unified common structure which should be work under. How can work the unity of command to top administration to bottom? Gulick and Ulrich, well-managed administrative units in the government are headed by a single administration. Leadership is vested in a one man. The principle of unity of command opposes the concept of a plural role of commission leadership of an organization. Fourth principle, according to Luther Gulick, line and staff. Each organization is basically either a line over a staff organization. However, some organization can be both line and staff over quasi-line and quasi-staff. In each organization, staff and line functions have to undertaken. The characterization of an organization into line or staff has to be done keeping in view the major functioning being performed. Last principle, according to Luther Gulick, span of control. Organization is worked by human being. Each human being has a limited span to attention. He cannot do all the work. He cannot control all the subordinates over even a large number of subordinates. In order, in other words, he has limited a span of attention. Also, Luther Gulick said that the view of the chief executive of an organization can deal with only a few immediate subordinates. So, classical theory of organization or administrative theory offers the set of these five fundamental principles of administration. It is hold the public administration can be organized and operationalized effectively by following these principles. So, between 1930 and 1950, the classical theory of organization remained most popular and it had a big impact of the theory practicing in public administration. Several administration reforms were carried through the own basic principle. How can advocate this theory? First two decades of this century, the classical management thinking is still dominant among many practicing administration today. The classical theories attempted to discover the true ways on which division of work in organization can be carried on, find effective method of coordinating the work for the sake of efficiency.